One,
2,
3,
4.
5, 6.
On today's speech, you're going to learn about my personal experience on how I, as a teenager parent, was able to raise my child success in school. Although there are many studies on many different websites that show that teenager parents are less likely to graduate from high school, I was one of the exceptions. Being a teenager parent was very difficult for me. As a consequence, I had many responsibilities and I had many issues. One of them was being my mom. Of course, her as my mom, all she wanted for me to do was to first get my education and then to have my family of my own. She knew that I wasn't quite ready to have my own family. As a result of this, I had to move out of my mom's house and then I had to move in with my baby's dad. Of course, it was a lot of responsibilities and a lot of new stuff to learn. So I was missing a lot of days from school and my grades went down as a consequence of this. At that time, I thought that the best thing to do was to drop out of school, which of course then I regret that decision because it was not the best decision to do. After having my baby, this is my baby when he was born, there was many responsibilities that came along with that. I had new stuff to learn and I thought I wasn't quite ready to go back to school. Although when he was 2, this is him when he was 2, I knew that he was ready to go to daycare and for me to go back to school. This is what I've been wanting, so that's what I did. I went back to school. And I did. I went back to school and I graduated from high school. This is my high school diploma right here. And I was really proud because I knew that was something that I really wanted to do in life. 1 year later, after graduating from high school, I enrolled in college and I got my first degree, which was really good for me because I knew that that's one thing that I wanted to do. After my son, he was already older. This is him when he was older. I knew that I was ready to go back to school and continue my education. This was one of the things that I really wanted to do. So when you want something, you really go for it, and that's what I did. I went back to school when he was older. And I'm working on my second degree right now. I'm working really hard on this, and that's what I want to do, so that's what I'm going for. Now, I'm a very happy, you can see this right here, I'm a very happy, successful, and happy mother. Also, it took a lot of courage for me to do this. With this, I come up with the conclusion that I did raise my child. I was able to go back to school. I was able to graduate, and I was able to continue my education. I found out that when you want something, you can do it, and you should never give up. With this speech today, my message is not for teenagers to be parents at a young age because it is very difficult for someone to do. So that's not my message today, but my message today is for them not to ever give up on their dreams. And I think that everybody should always go for what they want, and once you want it, you should be able to do it. So with this said, today we've learned on how I was able to have my child, I was able to raise him, and I was able to go back to school and get my high school diploma. Now I got my first degree, and once he was older, I was able to go back to school and continue my education, and I was still able to be a happy, successful parent. Okay, any questions?
Yes. What was the hardest part of being a teenager mom and going back to school?
One of the hardest parts for me was learning how to manage my time. I had to learn how to manage my time between studying and taking care of my son and doing homeworks. So I thought that was really one of the main parts that it was hard for me. Any other questions?
Did the school provide help for you to go back to school?
Yes, they actually did. The school that I attended to, they provided with transportation for me and my son, and they also provided with daycare for my son, which made it easier for me to go back to school.
Why did you decide to go back to school?
One of the main reasons that made me go back to school, well, I had many reasons. I had my mom that was always encouraged me to go back to school and finish my education. And another thing that really made me go back to school was my son as well. I knew that by me going back to school, I was going to give him a better future. All right? Well, thank you very much.